Oh.
You have to let the countdown go now.
So we're doing the Integrated Health Miller Minute, and this one was asked by Ruth Ann Meyer, and it's about fibromyalgia. So before we begin and right after we end, make comments on the video, ask for a topic that you want to hear about, and as you do that, then you can win a lunch. So Ruth Ann gets this one. Fibromyalgia. The more they do research and the more they find out about fibromyalgia, they're starting to see that fibromyalgia is like diabetes, and it's a lifestyle disease. And it's a lifestyle disease that is because of basically the excess that we have. The body retains nutrients. We start to get, a little heavy. We start to get adipose tissue. The adipose tissue then creates its own pro-inflammatory hormone. So if you're overweight, and I'm included in that, if you're overweight, the adipose tissue that you have, the fat, especially the excess fat that you have, will produce its own type of pro-inflammatory hormone, which causes pain, essentially. And what happens is this goes out of check, or this gets out of check. When we have excess calories and we are actually eating the wrong quality and types of food, insulin doesn't remain in check, or it actually becomes ineffective. It's not that insulin doesn't work, it just becomes ineffective. Our cells shut themselves off to it. The receptor sites for the insulin close off, and you're no longer allowed to use insulin, and that's why you end up getting more and more of an insulin response until the point that the islets of Langerhans shut down, and then all of a sudden you have diabetes. So with fibro, as you have the excess in there, then what happens to your body is your body starts to go into senescence again. Here's that wonderful term that we've discussed a couple times now. And the cells don't die the way that they're supposed to. And so it can live indefinitely, and because the body has everything it needs over here, it's comfortable, it doesn't want to go scavenge. And so no cellular apoptosis or cellular recovery happens. And that's when we start to get sore. And then what happens is you don't want to move, and you end up getting chronic fatigue, and it just snowballs. How do you get rid of it? Well, recovery is one of those things that you didn't get into this overnight, you're not going to get out of it overnight. Do you want to be adjusted? Yes, you do, because once again, if the body is in tension, if the spine is tight and it's not moving the way that it's supposed to move and not doing what it's supposed to do, that causes a positive feedback loop where it stays tight. You have pain. Because you have pain, you worry about it, and you don't exercise, and so you stay tight, and then it just feeds on itself until the point that you become just super sensitive, super touchy. You have to break that positive feedback loop. That can be done with adjusting and making sure the spine and the nervous system are moving as well as they can move. B, start your diet. Start looking at nutrition, because nutrition is the key. You have to feed these cells, and you have to feed them differently than what they've been fed before, because evidently what you're doing right now isn't working. I shouldn't say you. I should say what the fibromyalgia patient is doing isn't working. And their sleep is disturbed. They're on Ambien and all kinds of sleep aids. And the problem with that is you don't reach a deep sleep. So what happens? You don't get to produce serotonin. The body doesn't shut down. You don't go through cellular repair. Once again, here's another positive feedback loop. Because you don't have that, you don't sleep, you hurt, you don't go through cellular repair, you hurt, you don't sleep, and so it just feeds on itself. You have to take control of your own health. The only help you can get are guidance on nutrition, you get adjusted, and you start to move. You don't have to exercise. You don't have to get the gym. You just have to go out and move. And the best time to move is when you can go outside and get 5 to 10 minutes of sunlight in the span or in the range that gives you that chance to produce melanin, which goes to melatonin, which goes to serotonin, which helps you sleep. So hopefully you can get off of Ambien and stuff like that. It's a snowball, and the first thing you got to do is stop the snowball from going downhill, and then you have to start to push it back up the hill and get it going the other way. So we're happy to help. We're happy to give guidance. We are happy to adjust and help you start to move and feel better while you're doing that. But ultimately, as with diabetes, as with fibromyalgia, as with chronic fatigue, those things are up to you. Nobody else can do it for you. So that's my take on this, and that's what I know, and that's basically what science to this point knows right now. I think I've hit about everything. You know, if you're going to ask me what diet, you know, all the studies point back to doing a ketogenic, a paleo style, but you really have to start to be aware of how that affects your hormones. Because one guy can sit here and eat, they actually did the study and they used legumes, and they had two guys of similar make, I'll just say 2 cars of the same make and model. So it was 2 people with similar everything. One guy ate the 50 grams of carbs of legumes, and it looked like he was drinking water. His insulin didn't spike, his blood sugar didn't spike. He handled it like a champ. The other guy ate the same things, and it looked like he was eating cookies. His blood sugar went through the roof. His, everything became really, really skewed, and they didn't expect that. And so it starts to boil down to your microbiome and you learning your body. Paleo eating, hunter-gatherer eating, however you want to look at that, is still very individualized to the person. And so that's what you got to figure out. That's the only way to take this bull by the horns, because guess what? Medicine doesn't have anything for it. The stuff they give you will last for maybe 6 days, 6 weeks, or 6 months. Your adjustments will help you, but it may help you for 6 minutes, 6 hours, 6 days, who knows, 6 months. But once again, once you start to get stressed and your biochemistry and everything goes out of whack, you're going to tighten up, you're going to have issues, and that's still on you. Learning your body and learning how to deal with it. So once again, respond to the video. Give us your ideas. If we pick your idea, rock and roll, you get lunch on us. Have a great day.